China, officially the People's Republic of China or PRC, is a country in East Asia. It is the world's most populous country, with a population exceeding 1.4 billion, slightly ahead of India. China spans the equivalent of 5 time zones and borders 14 countries by land, the most of any country in the world, tied with Russia, covering an area of approximately 9.6 million square kilometers. It is the world's third largest country by total land area. The country consists of 22 provinces, 5 autonomous regions, 4 municipalities, and 2 special administrative regions, which are Hong Kong and Macau. The national capital is Beijing, and the most populous city and financial center is Shanghai. Provinces.
Proxemics. China has a word called "see common points" while reserving difference. It means that in spite of the differences existent, people should understand it and find a common point. It also embodies the Chinese think harmony in diversity, means difference cannot bring conflict. The different and identical exist at the same time. The Chinese people lived in communities where individual space had little meaning. Whatever the underlying reasons, the fact remains that Chinese people are unruffled by closeness to others, and there can be a certain amount of kind acceptable, passing, and shoving in public. When two people are having a conversation, they leave a comfortable space between them. And when people are standing in line, each one keeps a comfortable space between themselves and the person in front. The size of the space which people leave between them depends on their cultural background. In some cultures, there are situations where the space is so small that there is chronomics. In China, people don't feel as pressured. They would rather take it easy than live a busy life. But in China, to not arrive on time for a business meeting would cause the host to lose face. In China, you should always be punctual. Being late is considered to be rude. Meetings always begin on time. Time is seen as important commodity, more important than money.
Acoustics. In the Western culture, eye contact is usually taken as a form of communication. However, eye contact in China has limits. For instance, an extended eye contact may be made as a challenge to authority or an affront. According to the Chinese culture, a brief eye contact is acceptable. For example, children in China and Japan show respect to the seniors by not making intense eye contact, while employees are not to make eye contact with their employers. Also, the Chinese don't take avoiding eye contact as rude or being submissive. Instead, they take it as a sign of being reverent or polite. Avoiding eye contact signifies that you are uncomfortable with how close someone is getting. Direct eye contact is generally favored over indirect eye contact. It is considered a sign of politeness. When conversing with an unfamiliar elder, one may lower their head to lower their gaze. This is a sign of respect.
Haptic Chinese people generally don't touch strangers to them unless it is unavoidable or in the crowd. However, Close or same-sex friends may stand or sit close to each other or walk hand in hand. They will avoid touching during conversation except with family members, close friends, or partners. When greeting, Chinese people may choose to shake hands with you, although the handshake is much looser than what is expected in the West. Haptic Chinese people generally don't touch strangers to them unless it is unavoidable or in the crowd. However, close
Kinesic are body language in China. In China, body language and gestures are commonly used to express friendly greetings in both formal and casual environment. Here's a quick guide to that are mostly self-explanatory and common in other cultures and regions. The first, nod. Nodding is one of the easiest ways to greet someone. It's often used with the people you're not very familiar with, in formal business occasions or when you don't have time to talk. You can just simply nod with a smile to this person you wish to greet. Number two, shake hands. Shaking hands is a vital body gesture for showing courtesy and friendliness. In Chinese culture 99, it shows a good measure of politeness and respect. You can use this gesture either in a formal business occasion or at a cultural party to make some new friends. Number three, fist and palm gesture. This is a Chinese traditional meaning wish you good fortune. Chinese people usually do it during New Year's, especially young people. They do it to elders to show their respect and good wishes. If you show this gesture to elders during a Chinese New Year celebration, you might want to eat Jainin Ben Yan Li, which is way to say wish you a happy new year in Chinese. The last is pinky promise. In many cultures, a pinky promise means an agreement. Many friends and couples like to make promise to each other in this way, and many Chinese people think it's a lovely way to make a promise. One thing to remember is that this is not seen as a formal agreement in Chinese culture. So be sure not to use it for an official contract or anything like that.